Good morning, Ezada.
Hello, Inanna. How are you this morning?
I'm great. So nice to see you. So today we're here to talk about our events that are happening in 2024, the International FemDom Summit, which is your second year of organizing, which was wonderful last year. I had such a nice time meeting other women. The networking opportunities were fabulous. I'll let you talk about that a little bit more. And then in June of 2024, so your event is in May, my event is in June in Paris. I'm hosting France FemDom, which is the first international FemDom event in France. So why don't you start by, well, perhaps we can tell people how we met really quickly, because it's always interesting.
It is. So, I'm Ezada Sinn, the matriarch, and I think my nickname, the matriarch, caught your attention because several years ago, it was 2020, I think. I remember it was the pandemic. You contacted me and asked me for an interview for your amazing book, The Heart of a Dominatrix there. So I have to admit, this is how I found out about you. And I was very impressed because over the years I had so many interviews, but no one asked me questions who were so deep and meaningful. Most of the time, the questions are, what are your favorite things to do? How you started? And yes, those questions were also asked because this is something that people are genuinely interested in. But so many other questions about my lifestyle, what makes me sick, how many hours I work every day, and things like that. Nobody asked you that. So this is how we started our friendship, and I realized that you really have an interest in growing the community and showing not only the professional face of a dominatrix, but who she is in real life as a person. So this is how we connected.
Absolutely, absolutely. And indeed, because you're the matriarch, because you're known as the matriarch, that was my draw. We'll talk about the book another time. Talk to everybody about the International FemDom Summit. Like I said, I attended last year. This year, as soon as you told me that tickets were available, I bought my ticket. I'm so excited to go again.
So you are indeed the first one to buy the ticket this year.
Ah,
And
okay.
I'm very excited that you asked me this question. So the International FemDom Summit is an event that I'm creating together with my very good friend in Kenya. And actually everything started from her because we are attending all the events in Europe. But although those events, the Femdom Ball, the Femdom Gala, um, German Fetish Ball are amazing events, I found that there is not much time to actually do the networking, to actually connect with the women because you want to enjoy the glamour, the shows, everything that each event has. So we don't have time to actually sit down and discuss about us, um, business collaboration, and so on. And it's very difficult to connect face to face with other content creators, other dominas from across the ocean, for example, from United States or from Canada or from Asia. So we
There goes
decided
the book.
exactly, but it's I read about all these wonderful, inspiring women in your book, and I'm thinking, but I want to know this person. I want to, you know, create a friendship, perhaps, or at least a professional collaboration. And we thought we should create an event dedicated exclusively for that, to meet other ladies that we feel inspired by, to see old friends that you don't have an occasion to meet, and perhaps to create some other business opportunities. So we created the International FemDom Summit, which is really like a convention, a summit. It's no dress code. We don't have to behave in a certain way. For the first days of the event, we don't allow single men to come exactly because we want us to be ourselves. We want I like to dress up all the time, but maybe not always. I don't want to put the makeup or, the clothes. I want to be myself in the way I feel to be that day. So this is what the International FemDom Summit is mostly about.
Absolutely. And I think that that's so important that we have opportunities to network. So I think people might ask the question, why are me and you collaborating? Because we have two events that are totally different. But I think me and you are both very interested in building communities in very different ways. For example, for France Femdom, there's a big focus on education. Sharing knowledge and experience is really, really important to me. The International FemDom Summit is very focused on networking and collaboration. And of course, there's educational aspects when you meet other dominatrices. We learn from each other. That's one of the wonderful things about collaborating, about working together, about having 3 days to talk and be ourselves and not wear high heels like this tall if we don't want to. It's a more casual environment. I really appreciated the second day of your event where we were just in a bar drinking a little champagne, having casual conversations. I met so many wonderful women and I learned a lot from them. So I think that that's one of the big differences between France Femdom and the International FemDom Summit. At France Femdom, of course, there's networking. Anytime you get more than 2 women in the same room, there's networking, especially dominatrices. We're going on a cruise on Friday night. We're going on a guided tour. Thursday night. Thursday during the day, going on a guided tour. Thursday night, going on a cruise to see beautiful Paris in the evening. So of course there's networking. But for example, on Friday, there's a big focus on education, on skill sharing. What does she do that I can learn from? That's really important for me because even as an experienced dominatrix, I am always learning. I don't care if you have 2 days or 20 years of experience as a dominatrix, we can always learn. And I think that that's something that I really want to instill. There's also an artistic component because France is the city of fashion, one of the top 4 cities of fashion in the world. Art is really important to me. And putting Paris, which is my chosen city because I'm American, and this vision that I have of Paris of being such a romantic, wonderful city, I want to showcase that through art, through fashion with the kinky market and the creators that I've selected, which are mostly women, highlighting the beauty of this gorgeous city. Taking people on a cruise, seeing Paris by night. It's so romantic and beautiful. And then, of course, we're having a big gala at the end with fabulous performances, and then followed up by a play party. So we'll get to play with our boys and our toys.
I think, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I
Not
think
at all.
our events, although have similar things, that are actually very different and they complete each other. So you are going to show people the famous Paris, the capital of fashion, the city of light. Everyone knows Paris is romantic. And you are going to do that with the boat trip and the tour. In the first day of the International FemDom Summit, I'm going to take people to a trip to see the castles, Pellesh Castle and Dracula's Castle, where, yes, Dracula's Castle is famous, but because of the Bram Stoker, but actually Romania is not so well known. So it is my pleasure to actually show people this place of the world that is almost like mystic and it's actually full of history, and we are a mix between 3 big civilizations. So I'm so excited to share that. There are 2 different sides of the same coin.
Absolutely.
Basically, yes.
Absolutely. And I had
day,
so much fun last year doing the trip to the castles. I learned so much about Romanian history in one day. I got to meet some wonderful people, and I bought a wonderful fur in your favorite fur shop.
yes, here in Romania, we do like furs. The winters can get quite chilly, and I think a nice fur will always be elegant. I know this is a sensitive subject for all, but here in the community, we are very tolerant about everyone's fetishes and
Absolutely. And
preference.
that's a very important point, being tolerant and accepting that if your fetish might not be my fetish. And that's something that I really want to instill at France Femdom also. There's certain things that I don't enjoy doing that other people do, and I try not to judge because that's their kink, that's their passion. So that's a good segue into tolerance, acceptance, learning from each other, understanding that what you like isn't necessarily what I like, you know. One question that I've gotten a lot for France Femdom, because obviously it's putting women in the spotlight, but that means transgendered women also, gender fluid people. I think that that's really important to mention, that it's not just cisgendered women that are invited to this event.
Yeah, likewise for the International FemDom Summit, but I wanted to mention that when I bought the ticket for France Femdom, actually I noticed how clearly you pointed that it's women. I don't remember how it was.
Transgender, gender fluid, and
Yes,
non-binary.
like everyone could see it, and yes, it's very clear. So
France Femdom is not just for female dominatrices. It's for people that are interested in female domination. Okay. Submissive men, submissive women, dominatrix women, even male doms can come. Of course, they're not showcased. You know, this is our time. This is our time to shine. But if there's a male dom that's interested in female domination, sure, come to one of the events. I'm not excluding someone because of their gender. On the contrary, you're welcome. Please note, of course, that it is a femdom event. It is to highlight the beauty of women in our power, which is something that you do on a daily basis with the House of Sin. Talk to us a little bit about, I think a lot of the viewers know about the House of Sin and your philosophy, but I think it's important because it goes in with the International FemDom Summit also.
Yes, I want to finish my thoughts about the International FemDom Summit regarding people. So I decided together with Kenya that in the first day of the event, single men not to come, not because we are excluding, just because we want to feel comfortable without men bothering us. And most submissive men are very polite, but sometimes not because they are ill-intended, just because they are so excited to meet, they will, invade our private space, and that's why we don't want that. However, for the third day of the event, for the award ceremony and the goddess party, we do allow and we encourage single men to attend, because that's a way to celebrate femininity and everything that we achieved in our professional and lifestyle. Yes, pleasure, hobbies, and just that. So talking about the House of Sin, which is my project together with Nils von Kippe. It's also mentioned that it's here in Bucharest, but it's mostly a philosophy. And this is a private space. It's an exclusive place for members of the House of Sin. No one can come just because it's men or women, just because they want. It's an invite-only place. But with the occasion of the International FemDom Summit, we have two open doors days. And we cannot invite so many women at once because the location has limited capacity. But we want to invite especially women who never visited the House of Sin to see the place and to learn about our philosophy. It is so beautiful. It is such a beautiful mansion with each room is perfectly designed. It is. It shows your taste. It really emanates femininity and strength at the same time. So I want to tell people about
how they can learn more about the International FemDom Summit and France FemDom. What do they do? Where do they buy their tickets? How can they join us for these two wonderful experiences? So tell us where they can find you.
Thank you. So I think the first step is to look on Twitter for @FemDom Summit, because there we publish daily several posts about how was the last year, what are our expectations this year, who is attending the event. We are in the process to put on the Twitter all the women who will attend the event. So we encourage other women who are attending to make connections before the event. This is the perfect time to see, oh, Mr. So-and-so is coming to the event. I would really love to have a coffee with her, or maybe to film some content with her. The whole event is about networking, and we are going to have several public events like the meet and greet and the travels, but actually the whole event is about connecting with other women. And there are, I'm in the process also to write ideas, what can you do in Bucharest when you visit? Because we have Terme, which is the biggest spa in Europe, an amazing place. We have museums, we have beautiful parks. So I'm going to give women ideas of how to spend time with like-minded people. And Twitter is a great place to start learning about the International FemDom Summit. As for the tickets, we have a website. It's femdomsummit.com, and tickets can be purchased there. We use a third party ticket.
A secured payment system.
Secure payment system, so it's everything is secure. I'm not doing the tech part, so I cannot explain what. But yes, I really hope lots of women will see what this event is about, and
the value of these events. Because there's so much value in collaboration, in networking, in skill sharing, which are available at both of our events. And that's why me and you decided to talk about this together. Because when I support you, I support all women. When we build a stronger community, when you come to my event, you build a stronger community for everybody. So it's our common goals are the same.
I believe the more events we have and the more we support each other, the better. And I really hope that both of our events and the other important events, like the FemDom Ball, I think FemDom Ball was the first big event to bring women from all over the world in one place. And
we need more events like this. We need more events like this. It helps demystify female domination. It's really important. So that's why I attend other events when I'm able to, as often as I can.
And let's face it, I would be very blunt. If you are alone in this industry, you can be the best dominatrix ever. If you are alone, if you never collaborate with anyone, if you don't talk with other women, and you just look for your business, and you are a nobody.
We need community. We need community. So I'm going to finish up by talking about where you can find France FemDom. We do have a dedicated Twitter account. If you search France FemDom 2024, I'll put them at the bottom of the screen, the at Fête des Dames, and I'll put that at the bottom of the screen in just a moment. And I have a really, really complete website with my philosophy, the reason why I'm building this community, why I want to do this event. Also, like you, I've got a list of places to see. I've got a list of frequently asked questions. So if you have questions about everything from food to where to stay, you can look at the website. And that website is francefemdom.com. That's where you can purchase tickets as well. I know that for me, it was really important to have a first year with a fairly small group of women. I limited to 100 people. So 100 mistresses plus their dates, whether that's their submissive partner or another girlfriend that's curious. So it's limited to 100 spaces this year. I really wanted to create a very tight community. I find that when we get above 100, 150 people, there's a lot of saying hello. We say, hello, how are you? How are you? And we don't have time to really get into the deep conversations, which again, the International FemDom Summit is fabulous for that. So,
thank you. Last year was a success, but this year we are expecting about 200 women to attend. So it will be really big. We already have about 40 women confirmed, and we are 6 months before the event.
yeah.
I think we are still have available a very small number of early bird tickets.
Okay.
And we really cannot limit the number because everyone wants to come, and we want to encourage everyone to come. And I know it will be very difficult. Last year, I was able to discuss with every woman in person. I hope I will be able to do the same this year.
200 women, that's ambitious.
Yes, but I'm very social when it comes to like-minded women. So I'm sure it will be wonderful and everyone will have a good time. And personally, I'm an introvert. I don't look like, but I'm an introvert. So I know how it is to go in a place where you don't know anyone and you are too shy to talk. But for this exact reason, both me and my close friends made like we actually go to the women that are perhaps not in the middle of attention because we want to include anyone and everyone. Yes, we
Come
go
on,
and we
girls.
and the House of Sin ladies, the members of the House of Sin are always very friendly and very willing to bring other women closer to our beliefs.
So femdomsummit.com and francefemdom.com, and also our Twitters. We will put those online. And of course, if you don't know us already, I'm Inanna Justice. And
I am Ezada Sinn, the matriarch.
And we look forward to seeing you at our events in May and June 2024. Have a lovely day, everyone.